All right, we are back with this very special Jake the Snake Roberts birthday edition of Post to Post.
Happy birthday, Jake the Snake Roberts.
Whose shoot birthday is it? You want to find out while we get our audience back?
Might as well. I just typed in shoot birthdays. I'm not.
This whole episode has been a mini stroke. If it helps, I believe the only time we lost was Jerry looking at some of the things that have happened on really lousy state college Raws.
that was good.
All right, Steve says we're back. So
we're back.
That makes me happy. Thank you, Steve, and thanks, Mike, for letting me know that things were going as bad as I thought that they were. Whose birthday is it?
Today, the only birthday is Kona Reeves.
Who?
I don't even know Kona. Yeah, exactly. Yesterday was Gorilla Monsoon.
Well, happy birthday, Gorilla Monsoon.
Do you want to know tomorrow's?
No, because things could likely go bad tomorrow too.
Okay, we'll be fine.
We'll observe Gorilla.
In like true Jake the Snake Roberts fashion, though, we actually missed Jake the Snake Roberts' real birthday.
Yeah, wasn't that? And it was a day we had an episode, wasn't it?
We did an episode. Whatever.
So basically,
bring it home.
It was okay because we were just talking about stuff that happened in State College, but we were at the tail end. We got into a story because I remember this, and I don't remember what the story was, but I remember going to it was a house show in State College. It was in I think early 2002, and I had never met you yet, and you were in the ring during the show.
I was in the ring. I got to be backstage. I hugged Stephanie McMahon that evening. She had the best big fake sweatered boobs.
I was also backstage that day, but we weren't even friends. We didn't know each other.
We didn't know each other. We were probably by each other and didn't even realize it. Was that the day that you got Michael P.S. hazed?
No, I had already met you by that point. I was backstage for a pro wrestling class from Penn State Altoona. You were backstage with the radio station. I had never stepped foot in a radio station by this point.
I was backstage with the radio station, and we were in the ring to do the finals of our Spin-a-Rooney contest.
That's what it was, a Spin-a-Rooney contest.
Spin-a-Rooney contest to give away tickets and backstage passes. And then the grand prize was you get the backstage experience, you get the front row seats, and then we put you in the ring during intermission, and you get to do Spin-a-Roonies, and the crowd will decide whether you did a great job or not. And, of course, I decided to wear Speedos and pop one of these on the second row.
That's where Jerry's career was at the time.
That's because I was just ridiculous. So I came out and I remember being backstage and seeing Stephanie McMahon and seeing Triple H, and not talking to Triple H, seeing him, who was the guy that had the Harvard?
Chris Nowinski.
Yeah, Chris Nowinski. I remember he just looked at me like what in the hell is this? Because I was heavier and I'm wearing Speedos and I'm ready to walk out to the ring.
Boy, it's so funny because I remember this and we hadn't even met yet. And it's so funny because I'm watching you in the ring and someone could have traveled through time and be like, that weirdo in the underwear in the ring is going to be a groomsman in your wedding. And I'd be like, I'm getting married? Shut up. I don't believe this at all. I hadn't even known the touch of a woman at that point.
The weird dude in his underwear in the ring being good friends with you was not the shocking thing. It was like, wait, girl?
I'm gonna get laid?
Really? I didn't know the touch of a woman. How old were you at that point?
I was 19.
Yeah.
I think I got a late start, but I
you made up for it. I remember. Oh man, I don't know what kind of stories we're gonna start telling, but I just remember some of the on-air bits we did. Remember we set you up on a Valentine's Day date. That was the best. Oh, poor Rob had to go to dinner with a burn victim. You remember that?
You had a great line. After they left, you said, sometime we'll send you out on a date with someone who's not covered in burns and or fat.
Because one was super big and one was a burn victim.
Oh my God. It was so long ago. Oh, so long
I
ago.
never, like Freddy Krueger in a dress.
We tried very hard to get me some action during those years.
That's the funniest part of the story is he went out to dinner with a burn victim and didn't get any action. That tells you where we were here.
I will not elaborate on that. I'm just going to leave it at what you just said because we could split hairs.
No, I'm not splitting anything. Listen, the early 2000s were a rough time for both of us. We found our way. You know, today's my engagement versary. We got engaged on 6/5/4. So
Congratulations.
14 years ago.
That's cool. You did the backwards number. I remember you sent me I was in New York. You sent me a text message.
Yeah. See, we were friends by then.
Yeah, we weren't best friends though, obviously, because I didn't get a spot in the wedding. I got a late invite.
I'll tell you, if that had happened 6 months later, you'd have been in the wedding.
Yeah,
because we really bonded that summer.
I didn't even get an invite.
You did get an invite.
No, I didn't get an invitation. I was invited, but like after everything had already, like I didn't get like a save the date and an invitation in the mail or anything.
Please tell me that's not true. That has to not be true.
No, I don't. I think like, cause remember I just, I stayed, Fish and his wife and another one of your buddies shared a room together. And I just stayed on the floor. I gave them some money and just stayed on the floor.
This can't be true.
I'm pretty sure it's true. I don't even think I got
you're my best friend. You had an invitation to my wedding.
But think about when we started becoming really close. It was like summer 2005.
Right before I got married.
Right. Yeah. So I don't think we were close enough when you would have sent out the invites.
And then we got so close that I said, Kelly, he's coming. That's probably, you're probably right.
I got shoehorned in. By the way, same thing happened with Fish that summer too. Like, I don't know if it was like that day or like that week, but he was like, hey, if you want to come to my wedding, please feel free. That's just the way my life is. I send all you guys invites.
Listen, it's different now. I promise my next wedding, you will be the best man.
I accept.
I promise.
Is there anything else from Raw? Raw was just so outside of what we talked about. There was nothing really good. There was nothing. I mean, I don't know.
The only thing worse than Raw was this podcast today.
Yeah, and let me humbly apologize for the quality of this podcast. It went off the rails.
The fact that there's two of them, like it's just holy hell.
Listen, you can't win them all, man. You can't win them all.
You can't all be zingers.
We had a question before as the mini stroke thing was happening. I had one. I remember I wanted to post something to the audience. I don't remember what it is now. I might have to go back and watch the first video because we had a question. Oh, you know what? I think it's the Sami Zayn. It had something to do with Sami Zayn and Lashley. I feel like these have been Sami Zayn's best promos, and you're kind of ho-hum on them.
I'm not ho-hum on him. I'm ho-hum on the feud.
On them,
of Bobby Lashley.
That was a them, not a him.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah,
I'm ho-hum on the story, and I'm excited for SmackDown because right now SmackDown's been very compelling leading up to Money in the Bank.
SmackDown's. I'll just say it's been better than Raw leading into Money in the Bank, and I'm ready. Man, it's these matches that you have to qualify for. Whether we're talking about January's Royal Rumble, whether you're talking about February's Elimination Chamber, whether you're talking about June's Money in the Bank, these matches these pay-per-views where you have to qualify for stuff, we got to find a way to fix this because we're getting.
Yeah, and the only other note I had was I feel like they're trying to do the Seth Rollins technique to get Finn Balor over. You know, the second time around with Seth Rollins, he was kind of middling there since the comeback, and then he started putting on incredible matches. And incredible match after incredible match, and then the crowd really got behind him. And then, I mean, he's really earned his spot back by just putting on the best matches of the night and just constantly coming on Raw and doing.
You're talking
doing
Seth
a great
or
job.
Finn?
I'm talking Seth, and now I think they're trying to do that with Finn because they're putting Finn Balor in these great matches that don't mean anything. You know, he's had really great matches with Braun Strowman back to back. Last night was a great match with with Kevin Owens that I really enjoyed, but there's no real story there to get Finn over that hump with the fans. I think that right now he's got the fans he has, and that's that. And they're trying to get more by putting on these 4 or 5-star match type things, but I just don't see it happening. And I don't see him winning Money in the Bank now that he's pulled it off the chain.
I mean, here's the thing. I feel like with Finn, you can get him over with the fans, but I don't think you're going to get him over with Vince. At best, you can get him over with the fans. I don't think we're going to get him over with Vince.
If you don't get him over with Vince, you don't get him over.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, and sometimes it doesn't work that way. Like Daniel Bryan wasn't over with Vince, but the crowd made him over with Vince. I mean, it's possible with Balor, but I don't see it happening either. And honestly, Balor isn't super over with me. He doesn't take away from anything. I think he's just fine, but he's not someone I really get excited for. I like the spot.
Finn Balor.
I like the spot where Kevin was getting shaky on the ladder and wouldn't do his frog splash. I thought it was a shoot at first. Like, I think that at first I thought like, oh, he went a step too high and is regretting this and doesn't know how to cover for it. And then I saw that it was, part of the story they were telling, but I did dig that.
I love anytime that I can't tell if it's a shoot or a work.
Yeah. That was the backbone of the Attitude Era, man. That's what kind of stuff that we're missing. For the second time, why don't we close out the podcast? This will be the first time we're intentionally closing it anyway, unless you have more to get to.
I'm good. We're good. Free tacos for everybody that stuck through to the end.
So Jerry's promising those free tacos, by the way. He'll be here in June. Or I'm sorry. Yeah, in June.
July.
I'm sorry. Yeah, July. I'm sorry. For myself, the Rob, for Jerry Valeri, sending a big happy birthday to Jake the Snake and Gorilla Monsoon. Jerry's having another mini stroke. Let's just forget this podcast ever even happened. Goodbye, everybody.
You don't see that for real? You don't see that?